You have to realize that there's no such thing as an average person, okay? That's something that we've been programmed to believe. We've been programmed to believe that we can't do anything, that we can't change anything. But nature is an amazing thing, and we are amazing things. I mean, look, I love polar bears and puppy seals and butterflies, but the most amazing creature on the planet that I love the most is human beings. Think of two people thinking for themselves and realizing their power, and then creating a family. And then you have a family of people who are aware of their power. Just think of the influence they have in the community. Then you have a community that's aware of their power. Then you have a nation, and then you have a world. And then we start contemplating infinite consciousness. And that's when we begin to realize who we truly and really are. Okay?
There are two types of people in the world. There are people who are culture creators, and there are people who are culture maintainers.
Being an artist, whatever that means, and that's a word that means absolutely nothing. Artist.
And everyone has something creative about them.
I mean, everybody's an artist. Everything is art.
I don't know. I think art is a tool that people use to transfer themselves into something else.
Keep open-minded to what people are doing and what they consider to be art.
Artists are culture creators. Like, what we're doing is creating new ideas, and like trying to experiment with what we're doing.
Art is carnage and chaos to the comfortable, a banquet to the gluttonous, a temple to the faithless, and a redemption to the paranoid.
For me, making things is this really intuitive process.
I used to make stuff in a drug haze, an extremely energized, drug-ridden frenzy.
Very almost subconscious.
Just anything that affects me in a personal way, that's usually what I write about.
I'm not trying to say something big about, the whole world or anything.
My work is very personal for me, and I know lots of other artists say that.
Even though my world is the world to me, if you can see that, then I think you can respect what I do.
Consciousness is key.
It's like beauty. Beauty, the definition of beauty has been completely destroyed.
I hate the discussion of like what art is.
You see how it just kind of keeps going like this and looks like real flowery, hippie shit.
The beauty is the cornerstone for civilization. It's what we base our whole families on, our whole aesthetics, what we strive for as human beings, about the levels at which we reach for human potential to be realized.
There's all kinds of levels of creativity and whatnot, and all of that's art.
But when you destroy that foundation, then it disintegrates into sort of a chaotic, barbarian sort of existence, where it's just about feeling, okay? With no intellectual, no spiritual sort of content to what's being created.
I like to express my world through photography, or at least what I see in people through photography.
I steal images from the internet, from photographs I take around the world, and I mix them together in a program called Kaleidoscope, which takes things and just kind of like mixes them together and makes cool stuff.
I don't come into art with a blank slate and then try to come up with something original. I don't really try to do that.
And that's what we do. I mean, it might not necessarily have a global impact. I mean, I can't really say my drawing's going to help the Palestinians. I wish it would.
With photography, there's a lot of moments to capture. There's a lot of just like, it's not a lot of luck, but sometimes you do get lucky, just like in real life.
I want to get sued. One of the reasons I use a lot of other people's artwork and imagery is because it should be free game. Anything I make is open for interpretation in any way you want.
Am I going to be like a great photographer? I don't know. Am I just going to be like a tragic story? Who knows?
I mean, I ate some cigarettes, one time for a performance. Drank a bunch of whiskey. I don't think that really helped anybody. I just kind of did it just because it was going to be interesting and fun.
Hopefully, you aim for the best, to be the best, and you hope you had to go there. And if you don't, at least you tried.
I don't just do things to express myself, I just do things. I just make stuff.
The most pivotal lessons that any of my art teachers ever gave me, like from college or high school. We were talking, I brought up Bob Ross.
There's a place in my mind where if all I could do was make art, that's what I would do.
But I was like Bob Ross, I was like, he's a good artist, and our art teacher looked at me with this like disgust, and she was like, Bob Ross is not an artist.
There's a sense of frivolousness in being an artist. I think that people think that, oh, like you're doing what you love to do.
He was like, every time Bob Ross approaches a canvas and he applies paint to the canvas, he knows exactly what the end result is going to be.
I think everybody in the whole world who is a creative person or who identifies as an artist feels those kind of weirdnesses or pressures.
She said that the moment that there is no risk involved, the moment that your integrity or something vital is not on the line, you're not making art.
If you're talented in the arts, people aren't necessarily going to say, go be an artist. They're going to say, why don't you look for a practical career?
We're all human, we all find different ways to express ourselves. Whichever way you choose to do it doesn't make it better than someone else.
I kind of express, the whole art thing through helping my kids develop.
Art was encouraged in my family.
It's just kind of guiding them and helping them to figure out ways to express themselves.
Most of us went to a school where they didn't teach math or English until 3rd grade, and up until then it was just art, drawing, painting.
Or if you look at today's music, and let's start with something hideous called rap.
The band is definitely a musical medium, but personally I feel like my medium is the poetry, it's the words.
Gotta live no way, best bets can't take a breath from another beat. I don't know that heaven or hell, cause the work I do is in between. I don't wanna be mean or the best with a sense of less intense, but I can't believe in a story that's no even don't make sense.
But I love bass, I love music, that's probably how I would more express myself also, is just through other artists' music and everything.
That's all I've ever wanted to do since I was in high school, was found out that I wanted to be a musician, and so ever since then, no other jobs really made sense to me.
I guess the first time I ever wrote or recorded was from after my brother was recording hip-hop, and I liked the stuff he was doing, so I did some myself.
I just absolutely love just every different type of genre of music. There's not a single type of music genre out there that I do not like.
I start with a bass guitar to play since 4 years, and after 1 year I have started the guitar to play guitar on a little bit of piano. The good day I can win 90 euro.
I mean, everything is appealing in a certain, like, it creates a different emotion, like, you know, like different vibe. Like you throw some rock on there, you're just ready, you're pumped up, you're ready to go mosh. You're like, let's do this. You throw some like hip hop on there, you know, you're in a chill like little mood, like everything, like, you know, life's legit. Like you're just like, I don't care. Just everything just has a different vibe to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How the rest of you guys feel, but I can't really picture me enjoying life without at least figuring out where this takes me.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to be a kid for the rest of my life.
I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as that's concerned then.
I like living raw.
I like it raw.
Raw dog.
Yeah, I would say I kind of express myself through music. You know, since I'm a bass player now, like you kind of express it through it. Like, I mean, right now you can only express like so much because you only have a certain knowledge of like the instrument. Like, right now I'm the best. I've only been playing for like a year or no, 2 years now.
I think it's a mistake to say that you're separate and unique from everyone else in the grand scheme of things. Like, just like in any other field, everyone's influenced by somebody. To pretend like you brought yourself to the table and you're completely different and new and you didn't have any influence.
More than hip hop, try to make hopeful music, and you know, hope is good in many places.
Even if we remain completely anonymous, I mean, we're still people. You know, we still have the same emotions that we sing about and we play about, and that goes into our music. That you know keeps us connected to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily if my music will ever reach that person there, or if we will ever have a direct connection, but someone, say, you know, in any place might be touched by the same music that I listen to, the same music that I'm influenced by, and be influenced in the same direction, which hopefully will take them in a positive direction.
Grazie. Alla salute di Django Reinhardt.
Well, it's definitely like you know, a global thing with mural painting, especially. You know, it's a public artwork. You know, it's free public artwork. People, even here, right here in this alley, people come through here from all over the world just to see murals here in this alley. I've also traveled, and I try to paint some kind of mural everywhere that I go.
I try to stay away from the global community.
Global economy is there and necessary in some cases, but it's not necessarily a good thing.
I rather be underground where nobody knows me. I don't like crowds. I I go out of my way to find waves that don't have anybody out.
Yes, I think that there are a lot of cultural identity that you cannot change, and there is very, very specific from every place.
I grew up in Stockton and Long Beach. I was born in a refugee camp in Cambodia. Came down here when I was a couple years old as immigrants, as refugees. I'm working on a documentary photo project on street kids, traveling kids, and gutter punks in Berkeley. But I find it difficult to relate to them, to street kids. There's no question about that. More so I relate to inner city kids from my own background. So there's very little I can do in terms of saying, hey, I know how it feels or so.
As long as you can figure out a way to relate, what they're talking about and what we're talking about, in a way, we're all talking about the same thing.
Keep us apart as individuals or mental constructs, things that aren't actually there. We just pretend like they're there. And so it separates us from other people, whether that be religion or politics or...
God, we're getting philosophical.
I feel like no matter where you go, everyone who's young is lost.
But if you look deep down and if you look with the feelings and what people like, and it's the same. Everybody like family. Everybody like to do something that it's trying to be happy. So you have an identity from people all over the world.
They're not sure who they are. What, like, am I fucking gay or straight, or am I like, what am I? Like, they don't know who they are. It's universal. Everyone's very confused. We all act out in these ways that are maybe self-destructive in the long run, or maybe they're really self-destructive when people like overdose on drugs, or they like have unprotected sex and they get diseases or something. That happens everywhere. I know what that's like to be lost and confused and not know who you are, and you do these really terrible things to try and find out who you are, and maybe you don't. Some people follow the straight and narrow, but they still are just as confused as everybody else.
I'd rather surf by myself or with a couple of my buddies. So, to answer your question, I don't feel like I'm a part of the global community. I strive to not be a part of it.
You've got to find, the common ground.
There are some things that they think they are different, but in the end they are not. So I think there is a global identity. Of course, we live all in the same boat.
Because we're all people, and there are things that are common to all people.
I think at the core we're all the same. We all are trying to do something good, or at least hopefully do something good.
Like different types of people in different locations, how people act differently, and people are discussing different things in different parts of the world.
I'm pretty sure the Aborigine, if he has kids, is worried about his kids. He wants to be able to make a living. He wants to carry on or whatever, and these are things that most people are concerned with.
Yeah, man, I'm happy with my life right here. Definitely.
I'm content. I'm not gonna say I'm happy.
No, I'm not happy. I don't know. I don't know where to go from that.
I'm not happy all the time, but, you know, I mean, it's all perception, and I think, you know, when you look at my life as a whole, I'm definitely happy. You know, there are times when I'm not, there are things that bother and upset me, but on the general part, yeah, I mean, what's the point if you're not enjoying it, you know?
If you're in a situation where your life, your physical life is secure and your emotional state is secure, I think that's about the most, the best base for happiness that you can attain.
I mean, I could look at the same life and go, man, this sucks, like, you know, I'm divorced, I'm old, I'm overweight, I'm, you know, whatever. Like, I could look at some of these things that I'm not happy with and you know, let that define my life. But instead I choose to define it by, like, you know, there's a lot of cool shit that goes on in my life.
It's pretty crazy out there. It's awesome. And beautiful people are great. People should really have a lot of sex. Go crazy, have fun. Don't do anything like boring. Don't be boring. Just have fun.
I'm from the school of honest observation, okay? So I confront nature and look at it and learn, you know, because when you start confronting nature, you start confronting infinity, all right? And then you get a window into who you are, because we're in infinite consciousness, all right? And then you relate that to other people. You bring that infinite consciousness. We're like action reporters. Everyone else has their job, their families, which is doing their things in the community. So we have the luxury of time to go out there and look, and we bring the good news back to you.